Good morning, pre-Q geographers. I just wanted to show you a quick video or screencast looking at one of the students' responses, the 10-mark question on the key or describing the key features and explaining the key features of New Zealand's climate. What I've done here to make it very clear to you is I've highlighted as I went through and looked at this one, the points that they made. So a point is what you should start with. New Zealand's climate is very varied from north to south. That would be an example of a point. Explanation, explaining your point. So the reason why New Zealand's climate is very varied from north to south is because of the differing latitude. That's an example. Then the purple is an actual example, so mentioning the fact that Whangarei way in the north has a different temperature to Invercargill in the south, mentioning those names and actually mentioning the average temperatures, and then a summary comment. This is why you see such varied temperatures from north to south in New Zealand. Those are just, it's an example. It might not be the best, but it's an example. Now, guys, with this, as I read through, okay, I've highlighted all the bits where I see a point, explanation, example, and summary. I missed out this little bit here just because of timing, really. But as a marker, what we'd want to see is this combination of colours. So point, yellow, blue, purple, red. You can have blue and purple mixed up, like in terms of purple coming first and then the explanation, that's absolutely fine. But to get full marks for 10-mark questions, you'd probably want about 3 combinations of this. Okay, 3 of these, point, explanation, example, summary. 3 of those. So 3 times over, if you know what I mean. Now, this person actually did quite well. They got a 9, I believe. As I went through it again this morning, maybe it would be an 8, but they did pretty well because they had enough examples in there. But as you can see, as you read through, there's a good point first made. New Zealand is a 2-island nation and is surrounded by water. This is a massive impact on its yearly climate. That is a point. Since New Zealand is close to the water, it stabilizes the climate to moderate temps all year round. Now, look, let's ignore the grammatical errors here. You should always write moderate temperatures, but let's just ignore all the grammatical errors here. There are a few and more about the ideas. That's what I was looking for. So that was actually a perfect start. Point, explanation. However, he did then go on to another point. I would have liked to have seen him showing us an example about moderate temperatures and because being near large bodies of water, and then summarizing that. But he goes on to another point, and that's okay. You still get marks, but you're missing out on marks being in terms of getting large depths of your answer, getting to the depths of your answer, really showing off your knowledge, I like to say. If we move further down, I'm not going to read all of this, but I just want to show you a good combination. Here we go. This is a good one. Over New Zealand, there are locations that are very hot in summer, but also extremely cold in winter. An example of this would be Fiordland. This is because it is located, so he's given us an example, that's the purple, yeah? And then he's explained it. This is because it is located far away from a large body of water, so that means that the water cannot moderate temperature, and Fiordland gets very humid. Now, I don't want to completely say that this is wrong, but Fiordland, there are fjords in Fiordland, so there actually are large bodies of water, but the idea is right. I would have chosen a place like Alexandra in central Otago, or places that are further away from large bodies of water to use it as an example. So this person here, you'll know who you are. Let's change that from Fiordland to somewhere else. Then he gives an example of the what type of humidity as well, which is really good. So this is the purple is another example. This is probably the best paragraph down here. Another factor that decides climate pattern in New Zealand is convectional rainfall. This is very common in the South Islands with the Southern Alps. However, you should be talking about orographic rainfall. As the prevailing wind goes up the hill, it rains on the other side, which is why places like Greymouth, it rains a lot. In these areas, it is also very hot. This is because extremely high humidity levels. He's right, but again, it should be, so this is slightly wrong, but that should be orographic. But if he changes that again, it's looking pretty good. He has a summary there. You could have a summary right at the end of your 10 marker, or you could have a summary after every point, explanation, and example. It's up to you. Hopefully we get a bit of time when we get back to class to talk about this, but I just thought I'd show you a little bit of what I'm looking for. Awesome.